The Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jim, last corner here. Yeah, we're all.
Okay, Suzanne, can we have a roll call of the commission, please?
Chairman McBeath.
Here.
Vice Chairman Robb.
Here.
Commissioner Drew.
Here.
Commissioner Howell.
Here.
Commissioner McLynch.
Here.
Commissioner Morad.
Here.
Commissioner Raines.
Here.
Commissioner Schrunk.
Here.
And Commissioner Ball. Here.
Okay, and I want to welcome Commissioner Morai back to the commission for his second tour of duty. This is his first meeting. He actually got appointed before our February meeting, but because of prior commitments, he wasn't able to make it. But anyway, so welcome back, Pete. Appreciate you representing the ranching community on the commission. Okay, let's go ahead and have a roll call of the county advisory boards.
Glenn Bunch, Mineral County.
Ken Wellington, Elko.
Paul Dixon, Clark. Joe Unit, Harrison.
Mike Pete, Douglas. John Reed, Washoe.
Rex Flowers, Washoe.
Jim Junay, Lyon.
Joe Krim, Virgin. Tom Casanelli, Humboldt.
Jim Evans,
Jim Burton, Perkins.
Barry Oxen, Eureka.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Okay, first item number 2, approval of the agenda for possible action. The commission will review the agenda and may take action to approve the agenda. The commission may remove items from the agenda, combine items for consideration, or take items out of order. Anybody have any comments with regard to the agenda? Seeing none. It is an action item, so I guess any public comment. Anybody have any comment on the agenda? Okay. Oh, no hand? No? Okay. Okay, well, I'll bring it back to the to commission. Entertain a motion on the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any other comment? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Item number 3, member items, announcements, and correspondence. Commissioners may present emergent items. No action may be taken by the commission. Any item requiring commission action may be scheduled on a future commission agenda. The commission will review and may discuss correspondence sent or received by the commission since the last regular meeting and may provide copies for the exhibit file. Commissioners may provide hard copies of their correspondence for the written record. Correspondence sent or received by Secretary Mayor will also be discussed. Member items. Commissioner Howell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I got something for I think it's the IT department. I had a sportsman come to me the other day, and he had bought his license. He's born and raised here in Nevada and been hunting and fishing since he was able. And he bought a resident license when it was due last March 1st, a year ago. And he inadvertently forgot to put a Upland Game stamp on it. So in September, he went to Walmart to get the game stamp added. And he bought the stamp, and they added it to his license, but they changed it to a non-resident license when they did it. It doesn't seem to me that the computer should allow that to happen. I mean, he always has had a resident license. So he didn't realize that it even happened until he went to get his new license this year. And they said, well, you got a non-resident license. And so he had to go down to the department to get it straightened out, which they did right away. But It seems to me the computer should be able to fix that so it couldn't happen.
Yeah, I guess so. I said, Don, did you like to come up and maybe just make a comment? Don with System Consultants.
Is this hot? Don Sefton, Systems Consultants. I'd like to know his name to look up the record, but for the record, the way the system works at the POS agents is that if you are in the current license year and you purchase an add-on privilege, trapping, stamp, fishing if you already had a hunting, we don't sell you a new license. We reprint the existing privileges and add the new privilege to it. And if you look at your license, it'll show you the existing privileges and the new privilege. We are required to always ask the residency of folks when they purchase a license, and that's because there was a case in Arizona when we were doing licensing for them online about 8 or 9 years ago that the DAG down there weighed in on. They lost the case, and the reason why was we presented their residency as we knew it while they were in the application process. They clicked through even though they'd moved out of state and claimed the benefit of a residency, and they applied, got a tag, and a buddy basically told on them, and it went to court, and they said, well, the system told me I was a resident. I figured you were smarter than I was. So the DAG down there said, you always have to ask the residency when someone buys a license. You can't rely on what they were before. And so we always do ask, but in this case, it doesn't ring with the way the system works. It just doesn't sound right. I think there's more to the story. And what I'd like to do is get together with Commissioner Howell afterwards, get the gentleman's name, and we can look him up online and see where and when he was sold what.
Okay, yeah, I would suggest you guys just do that, and then if you do identify a problem, you can bring.
Yeah, but we don't resell a license. If they are in the current license year and they add a privilege, we just bring in the previous privileges, don't change them, don't, it would throw off all the accounting and everything if we tried to do that. So it doesn't sound right, but yeah. I'll be happy to talk to Commissioner Howell about it. Okay. We find a lot of times when we get these kind of stories that when we track back, there's more to the story and it's not exactly as was relayed to a commissioner, and so.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Any other commissioners with any other member items? Commissioner Rain.
Just very briefly, I did receive a large amount of correspondence, especially relating to the trapping and the bear issues. I believe most of the commissioners did get those. I wanted to reflect the record that I have had a chance to peruse, I believe, all of it. I saw there was a couple that showed up this morning on the email. I haven't got to those. But other than that, I have managed to peruse those. And as far as the previous issue, being a license agent, every time somebody goes in there, there is a box, yes or no, and if you went to Walmart and they click no, that's likely it. You could issue something. It'd be really easy. You just got to check the work. One of those things. Every time you get a license. Thank you.
Okay. Any other commissioners with Commissioner Shrum?
Mr. Chairman, some of the correspondence I received since the last meeting, I have a letter from Peter J. Smith. He's an attorney on the proposed trapping regulation. This is a two-page thing I'd like to have entered into the record, and if we have, I know it's going to be a busy day. If we have time, I'd like to read it into the record. It says, "Good morning. I have seen."
Commissioner Shrum, could I ask you to hold off? Why don't we do that
during trapping?
Yeah, during the trapping agenda item. And I was actually specifically asked the department if they made. If they looked at that letter and looked at those comments, so that was going to be a question I had as well. And so, but if you don't mind,
not at all.
Let's hold off on that one. Okay. Any other commissioners with an item they want to discuss? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and bring it to.
Mr. Chairman, you do have a correspondence from Mr. Bevan Lister.
Oh, you know what? And if given what's going on today, I was actually planning on doing that on tomorrow because I have a member item on that tomorrow, and so And also just wanted to have an opportunity to talk to Commissioner Rain as well, rather than spring anything. So anyway, I'll just wait, and we'll do that one tomorrow. Okay, agenda item number 4, County Advisory Board to manage wildlife member items. CAB members may present emergent items. No action may be taken by the commission. Any item requiring commission action will be scheduled on future commission agenda. CABs. Come on up, Mr. Dixon. Then Gil.
For the record, Paul Dixon, Clark County Wildlife Advisory Board. One of the things that Chairman McBeath and commissioners we've been talking about in Southern Nevada, and with the addition of our new board member, Mark Pergola, is the hatcheries issues in this state, and the fact that the Lake Mead hatchery, which was a lot of money was spent building that, and then with water level drops and quagga mussel issues, we're not able to use that hatchery for anything other than a few warm water species like the razorback sucker or other things. Was getting this commission to work with the Department of Wildlife as well as the Southern Nevada Water Authority to see if we can't get use of their new intake of colder water that is treated, that would allow us to reopen that hatchery and start raising trout in it again. And those trout could be used across the state, not just in Lake Mead. And that would be beneficial because things like the Mason Valley hatchery right now are running above capacity. And if we ever get a disease outbreak at Mason Valley, we could lose trout stocking in the state for an extended period of time. And so it's something I'd like this commission to think about looking into. We'll be discussing it at my next CAB meeting and bringing forth some recommendations to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Gil?
For the record, Gil Yana, Carson Advisory Board. Just recently, all the CABs received emails from the department regarding the preparation of their budgets, and it was attached was a spreadsheet that would make their life a little bit easier. First blush at it and looking at it, there was a couple of things that needed to be changed, and there was a little corrections that we made. And so what I thought, we may have some CABs that have new members on the board, and they may not be familiar with the preparation of the budget. So during lunch today and tomorrow, I plan to take some time. If anybody wants to attend, I'll put the whole thing up on the screen here and walk people through it so they're comfortable doing it, and we'll get all that information, and it'll be easy for the department to digest and put together.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Thanks, Gil. Ken?
For the record, Ken Wellington, Elko County. I just got one thing. I wanted to thank the department Director Mayor for allowing Sean Espinoza to come over to our County Advisory Board meeting. He's an upland game specialist and expert with the department on sage grouse. He was very knowledgeable, professional, and I enjoyed his presentation along with Dr. Coates, which was recommended by him. And I know our committee, Public Lands, will probably be looking at presentations from them, but I just want to thank the department for allowing him to come over. He was very good. Thank you.
Any other CAB member items? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and bring it back. We are now at agenda item number 5, approval of the minutes. Commission minutes for December 3rd and 4th, 2011, and February 3rd and 4th, 2012. Everybody have a chance to take a look at those minutes, and anybody have any suggested changes, comments on the minutes?
Chairman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just really quickly, in terms of the December 2nd and 3rd meeting, on page 14, we had a motion in here regarding the correspondence that was going to be sent to SNWA, I believe, and it shows who was in favor of that motion. I think we should probably add the 2 abstained members to that, which was yourself as well as me, and I'm not sure if we want to add the written disclosure. I know I had a written disclosure, and I'm not sure if you did, but it may be wise to add that just as an attachment, and maybe it is and I missed it. But those are the only comments I had.
Yeah, I would say let's do that. I did not have a written disclosure. Mine was verbal, and so. But anyway.
No, it's in the exhibit file, but I could attach it.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. If.
And was it just? Did we have? Was there any? When you looked at the minutes for February 3rd and 4th, I can't remember. Was the same issue there? Because I think we had.
I don't believe so because it was an informational item and presentation.
Okay. Okay, any other commissioners with comments on the minutes? Okay, I'm looking for a motion. Wait a second. It's possible action. Any public comment on the minutes? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and bring it back to the commission. Looking for a motion.
Move to approve both sets.
Okay.
As modified by Drew? As modified by Mr. Drew?
Modified by
Commissioner Drew. Okay.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the commission? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I won't be voting.
Because you won't.
Since I was not in
Okay.
those meetings.
Absolutely. Understood. Okay, then I'll go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And one abstention. Commissioner Moore.